So what we're going to do here is put a scalpel blade onto a scalpel handle. And these are the instruments that you would be using to do this. We've got a pair of artery forceps here. We've got two scalpel handles, and you notice they're different sizes, and they take different blade sizes. That's something you've just got to be aware of, that you've got the correct blade for the correct handle. And these are our scalpel blades in the packet here. These are non-sterile scalpel blades. For surgery, we would use individually packed scalpel blades. This instrument is the artery forceps, and they're a bit like scissors, except they will lock closed. So they've got a ratchet mechanism, and when you close them, you'll hear and feel them click, and they're then locked closed. And that's really useful when we're putting on the scalpel blade, because it gives us a very good grip. You've just got to be aware how to unlock them again, and you kind of open them like scissors, but you also push the two sides apart. So it's a slight movement of taking each blade apart, as well as separating them. So we'll put a blade on. So first of all, we'll get our blade out of the pack. This is a new pack, so we've got to open it first. And then they're all individually packed in here, wrapped up in paper. These are the non-sterile ones. And then if you turn them around so that the writing is the right way up, that means that the point of the blade is pointing away from you when you open them. So you've now got to get the blade out of this in a safe way. So just remember that the safe bit of the blade is at the bottom. So we can take the paper off, unwrap it, and get hold of the blade using the bottom bit, which is not sharp. Now you can see that the bottom part of the blade is angled, and it's angled in order to meet this angled part on the scalpel handle. It's important that it lines up in the correct way, because if you had it the other way round, like that, it wouldn't be able to go on the scalpel handle. So it's important that it's angled the correct way. Now the method we'd like you to use is to use the artery forceps, and you put them near the top of the blade, well away from the hole in the middle, and you close them to get a good grip. So this is now very secure because they've locked onto the blade, makes it nice and safe. And you then put the blade onto the scalpel handle, and there's grooves on the scalpel handle which receive this part of the blade, and it sometimes needs a little bit of wiggling just to get it on, but then you can push it back and it should move back, and then you'll hear it click as it locks into place, and that means it's safely onto the scalpel handle. So how do you get them off? Well, again, you use the artery forceps, and this time you take the very bottom part of the scalpel blade. It's a little bit tricky just to bend that up and get a hold of it, but you lock the forceps again, so you've got a good grip. You point it down away from you, and you then push the blade off the scalpel handle. And then once you've got the blade off the scalpel handle, it needs to go into the sharps container, so you just release it there.